just realized, there it goes. I'm sorry if that was really bright. I don't know what happened. I didn't break it. I know that much. I'm going to sit here and try not to look sad because the camera's on my desk. Hi. And then right out there is a big, huge picture window that you can see the reflection of back there. And it's snowing again because it's going to snow forever. And I guarantee I'll be the first one to complain when it's 90 degrees or 95 degrees and the humidity's, 90%. I'll be the first one whining about it, really. I love winter, but this I'm sick to death of. So that's neither here nor there, is it? Anyway, I want to show you guys how I use my weekly view in my DIYFish Life Mapping Basics. As I said in the last video, the version I'm using is version 2. I got this end of fall, beginning of winter. It was like November or December, I think. And it's been tweaked a little bit since then. Most of the differences are going to be in the monthly view. The differences between the version I'm using and the version 2.1 or the version 2B that Fish has available in her Etsy store now. They're small differences, but they are there. So if you go to order one, as I said in the last video, just read the description for each one before you decide, just to make sure that you're getting what you were looking for. And but I will show you how I'm using the weekly view, and if there's something you like and you get the version 2.1 or the version B and you want to incorporate it in, it's not as if things have changed so much that you can't incorporate any of this in to those other pages, okay? So I will flip the camera around and show you how I use my weekly view. All right, you guys take it easy. All right, guys, here is the close-up look at the weekly chart in the DIYFish Life Mapping inserts. This is a blank week. I thought we'd do that first. And these are the daily pages for that particular week. So there's what your week looks like. Okay, all of your days, and then a chart. And I use this in a very similar manner as to how I use the monthly chart. This is all where I put places where I need to be at certain times. So appointments, dropping kids off, picking kids up, and then off to the right I put Mike's schedule just so that I see what days he's around to run people and what days he's out of town. So this is all time sensitive stuff, certain places at certain times. This is where I put tasks for the week. So that is what it looks like. Prints out in my file, just because I'm in the States, prints out on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, just like the monthly. There are cut marks as to where to cut it and a fold mark as to where to fold it. They're very easy to use. So that is what a blank one looks like. And then I will show you what a full one looks like, or nearly full. It's Saturday, so some of this isn't filled in yet. So this is what I do. Let me move this a smidgen, maybe. There we go. Sorry, guys. So here is your week, and as you can see, let me flip back just real quick, even though we're not talking about the monthly, I just want to show you how this works all spread out. I know you've seen this in the other video, but just in case you haven't seen it, this way, all of your Mondays run straight into, all of your Mondays for the month line up with the Monday for the week. So on for Tuesday, all through the week. So I know it's Monday the 24th, it's going to be on this line. If I need something here, I know it's going to be on this line. Again, this is going to be me transferring things over here that are not basic daily things like school schedules and whatnot over to my weekly. Let me fold that back in. So here is what the weekly looks like. I do put daily stuff onto the weekly. So when I'm dropping certain kids off, when I'm dropping certain kids up, what nights certain kids are working, parent-teacher conferences, math and science nights, stuff that is not repeated, well, that's not true. Stuff that is on the monthly calendar, like nights that my oldest son works and I drive him, that gets transferred over. That's why it's nice that that just folds out. I also put the daily stuff on here because this tends to be where I reference if somebody wants to make plans or somebody wants to get together and do something or somebody wants to have a meeting. This is where I put it. Sorry about the little drop off there, guys. Mike walked in and I cannot record when somebody's in the room. I just can't do it. So I was like, go away. And he didn't realize I was doing it until it was too late. Sorry. So as I was saying, this is all the time sensitive stuff. This is all task stuff. And the reason I like, one of many reasons I really like this setup is my stuff that I have on here for weekly tasks is going to depend on the time sensitive stuff. So having it all in one spread for me is very convenient. There's not a lot of flipping back and forth going on. And this way I can look at the whole week and see in one shot everything I want to get done and what time I have to do it before I have to leave to be wherever or leave to take whoever wherever, and kind of slot that stuff in as I can without having to flip back and forth to daily pages. So that was all the time sensitive stuff. As I said, the weekly chart, same idea as all throughout the planner. I color code everything. I'm trying to get better about this, and as you can see on this week, it kind of started out with good intentions and ended up kind of messy. I'm trying to block things together. So anything that is projects or work stuff, anything related to somebody else, something I'm doing for somebody else for their website or, tech coding, I try to block all together. All that stuff goes in purple. And then all the pink stuff is stuff for the blog. I try to keep that all together. Bills, I do put on here. Remember, I did say I put them on the monthly chart as well. I do transfer them over to here. I didn't mark that off. I'm just noticing that. So that I see them every week. And I just do that as the weekly part of my weekly setup. I reference that weekly or that monthly chart, make sure I have everything marked off from the week that I did, and then transfer the next week's stuff forward. As you can see, I didn't do a very good job of keeping things in blocks. I want to avoid this mix of colors going on just because I know I'll catch things a little bit quicker if I have them kind of in blocks. So I did start doing that over here. I'm not quite done filling in next week yet. I'll finish that tonight or tomorrow, but I'm trying to leave a little more room in between each block of things so that I can slot things in and have room to work as things come during the week. If I have something I need to put in pink, I've got time to work, or space, to work with here. If something comes, as a project for somebody else that I need to add for next week, I have space here to add it. So that's just a little tip. I do like putting them together in blocks versus kind of all mingled together like this. I color code so that I can find those things quickly. So if I do get it a mess like this, I do still find things. It's just a little bit quicker and a little bit less cluttered for my brain to try to process if I have it in blocks. So this is where I will look every day. I look at this multiple times a day, and I can transfer things from here, certain tasks, to my daily page. So I know on a certain day I want to post the week 9 before and after comparison shots from the planner. So the dots indicate days that I worked on those. So as Tuesday and Wednesday went by, I took the before shot, or the after shots, of Monday and Tuesday on those days. I took those pictures, edited them, labeled them, all that good stuff, so that I can see what days I'm working on stuff, but it's not done yet. The same thing for up here, the week 10 before shots. I decorated a little bit early this week, so I started taking those pictures early, so I know that I'm not done with it yet. If I'm done with it, it gets colored in completely like this. If I'm still working on it, it gets a dot. And then the day that I finish it, I'll color it in. And I do that just because it's kind of nice for me to see, especially when I'm starting new things, if I'm starting a new project for somebody. It's a quick way for me to look at and see, okay, last time I, let's say, helped somebody set up a website, here's how long it took me to do this, here's how long it took me to do this. And yes, that is going to be dependent on these things and what all the kids have going on and how much Mike is in town versus gone. But I like seeing, roughly how long it took me as far as prepping something and actually finishing it. So that's the difference between the dots and the filled in boxes. I did also start just this week I don't use this index spot. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's this vertical line of boxes just like this one here, and it's just like the index on a daily page, like this over here, okay? And I usually would I have little abbreviations for what each thing is for, because purple is projects for other people. Well, that could be several things. That could be tech coding, it could be this company's website, it could be an individual's website. So I just have a little abbreviation for each person because they are all in purple. Just like with the kids, I use blue ink for the kids, but there are 7 of them. So if I'm going to use blue ink for each one, I use their first initial to indicate which kid I'm, referencing. And that did help this week a whole lot, because it saves me some space over here. I would usually write BC over here and then try to fit this in. And while my pens are very, very fine-tipped pens, my handwriting is not that neat. So to squeeze all this in with this abbreviation over here, it was just really cramped. Plus, this is a really quick way for me to look down one column and see, okay, all of this work was for that site, all of this work was for, my website, this was stuff I wanted to get done in the planner. Stuff that's really important, I just throw a little star over there. Man, I need to mark that in. That's going to drive me crazy. So that is pretty much the weekly chart, you guys. Time-sensitive stuff on this side, tasks on this side. Like I said before, your mileage may vary. This is just solely how I use it, and that's what I find to be the beauty of these pages, is you can use it any way you want. So now we will go ahead and do the daily pages in the next video. In the meantime, same as always, you guys have questions, comments, suggestions, let me know. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.